y'all. It is Bite Size Thursday here at Off Slate Media. And we are watching a very amazing, incredible, epic, show-stopping, cinematic, perfect episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender. We're watching the Ember Island Players. Everyone's favorite episode of the show. You know what's going on. We get to watch them put on a fun little...
It's the Friends clip show of this show.
Not just it's just a clip show because no one likes clip shows, but this is like the one exception because they did something smart with it and it's wonderful.
Well, it's so funny. Like I always, I know you say nobody likes those, but I think that there's always fun episodes in sitcoms when you get shit.
It's a waste of time, though. It's called, hey, we don't want to pay you for another episode. Just film something real quick as like a framing device and just show clips that people like. It's the biggest stupid cash grab. It's
lazy.
The worst episode of The Office is the clip show.
It's
the banker.
We don't want to pay you to come in during the month of December or whatever. So here, we'll film this in November. And
it's literally a slot in their schedule where they don't have to spend money. It's just free. It's dumb, like and they did it back in the days a lot because you didn't have like YouTube where you could just look up compilations. Yeah. Like now you can just go to YouTube and look up someone's like 20-minute best of so and so thing.
That's true. That is true. I feel like in nowadays, I mean, we have less and less sitcoms.
They don't.
Period.
Well, and seasons are shorter.
Yeah.
Did Scrubs ever do a clip show?
Yeah, it was called My Clip Show.
Was it actually?
I don't know.
It might actually.
But isn't it like every episode is my something?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
or if it's one where they switch into someone else's thoughts, it's his or her or.
Gotcha. I wouldn't be surprised if they did because that's still in the era of doing clip shows. Not everyone.
It would have had to have been really early in the show, I think, though.
Man,
I think that started in like 2002.
It's a trope for shows to make that quick money back in the day, and no one likes them. Like every you look online, it's like people just destroy those. Like you scroll IMDb like through the episodes and you see the ratings, and then one is plummeted. You're like, what's that clip show? I think Frasier has a clip show, and I was like, why? Like all these are like well scored. So it's a clip show.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to watch this version, though.
Oh, man.
So let's do this. Let's...
Take a bite.
This is Greg.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back after that brief intermission. And now, you see what I did there? Just the intermission.
I got it.
If we watch Ember Island Players, and this is I always wonder how... Because, like... when was this aired again? Do you remember when this?
2008.
Oh, 8. Okay. Because I always wonder if the internet was as powerful as it was back then, if the creators knew the jokes that people were making about them, and they kind of worked on rolling them into writing this episode, because they obviously made jokes.
I don't think the internet was as powerful as what it is now.
Because it sounds like they're just like everyone was like ripping on like the classic jokes that people always make about the show. That's why I was wondering.
Yeah, I feel like at that time the internet, I'm not going to say in its infancy, but in its transitional phase.
Yeah. Because I was just wondering, like, you get like 50 tweets about
like
joking about Zuko's honor, like, we should make a joke about that.
There were like comment boards and stuff people could post. It's not, of course, what it is now, clearly, but
I wonder
you also know how things are received and like the Great Divide joke.
That's what I'm
like
saying.
Being a couple years removed, where that's like probably the lowest rated one or something. Where it's like, yeah, that's where they get that.
Yeah, because that's impressive that they were able to, while the show is still airing, make fun of everything the show has been made fun for.
It's just crazy. It's not like specifically a clip show, but it basically serves as one, and it's a recap right before the finale to like make us remember. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh yeah, Aang's a girl.
That was
so funny. There are a lot of little things. I love how when the Sokka actor adds those lines and his co-stars are like, because it's not in the script. I love that they're both like, what is he doing? The Rocky relationship is pretty good.
The Rock relationship.
What did he say? Slap-a-pow? Is that what he ended up saying?
Slap-a-pow.
Slap-a-pow. And then Sokka's just, I told him to say that!
I figured out why I never liked this episode up until the rewatch before this.
The Aang Katara scene.
Yep.
Oh, I was like...
secondhand embarrassment.
yeah.
I felt
That's
that so hard when I was young that I was like,
It was...
no.
It was already uncomfortable. And then he tried to kiss her, and I was like, what are you doing?
What kind of... What do you mean
I'm
tried?
confused. And then he
He
tries
like
to kiss her. She's like,
full on kissed her.
It's like, I'm confused. I told you I was confused. I was like,
It's like, buddy, read the room.
oh.
That's not...
But
Hey,
they're
like
outside.
he said, they were outside.
Still, read
Just,
the room.
oh,
It's very...
oh, that's it. And then when he's like, I'm such an idiot. And I said, relatable.
We've
Yeah.
all been there.
Or was it, why am I such an idiot? I was like, oh,
We've
boy.
all been there. It's, yeah.
Oh, it's like, I know you, Jake, talk about the beach being like secondhand embarrassment galore for you, and I can get through that just fine. Like, yeah, I get through it. That hurts.
That's about...
That hurts.
That is about all of the secondhand embarrassment from the beach house or the beach episode
Just wrapped into one little moment.
in like one 45-second clip.
Yep. It's like, oh, no, stop. And then he just, oh, it's like, he's asking like, well, are we going to be a thing? And it's like, well, there's a war. I don't know. I'm confused. It's like, well, when will this happen? It's like, dude, lay off. There are bigger things at play right now, like the world. And I get the kid
Yeah.
not used to handling these kind of emotions either, outside of all the millions of emotions he's had to deal with, since unfreezing. Like, I get why he's acting like, an immature kid.
Mm-hmm. And it really makes sense, especially after having everything thrown in his face about, like, literally watching his life flash before his eyes. Like, he watched all of his cringy moments before that. And so it's only just piling on to be like, oh my god, I feel bad for the kid.
Yeah. It's like, stop. Stop. It's like us from a distance can recognize, no.
It's not your
I mean,
time.
also us, well, me being like, what,
Ancient.
29 years, 19 years older than his mental state. More than that, 26.
It depends how old
27.
How old are you mentally?
Oh, baby, you don't want to know.
I think I remember when I saw it, because I bring it up again, watching these day after day and getting to this one, and he brings up the invasion kiss, and I'm like, oh yeah, from the episode I didn't watch, but saw that moment in the previews, because that's like that makes the kids go, ew, I have to watch this. But then watching it, it's like, oh, why? Aang, sorry, I have to do my 14-year-old voice. Aang, no, don't do that. What are you doing? So, yeah, I remember watching this live and being like, no. You get all, you cringe.
yeah, bring up the Vader no. But
Yeah, and I think not that the episode was ever not well received, but I think in retrospect it has become beloved.
absolutely, yeah.
I just think when our generation gets older and realizes how it functions, that's what convinced us, oh, this is actually really good.
Mm-hmm. And like you said, it is perfectly timed. I like having it right before the finale because it really brings up all the feelings of like the first season and the second season. You really understand like how far they traveled.
So this is sandwiched in between the end and Zuko saying, how are you going to kill my father?
Yeah.
So it's this like, I wonder what happens next. Oh, we're going to see a play. Which there's a lot going on around it too. We see Aang's been firebending with Zuko. Funny that they're staying in the Fire Lord's own beach house.
I know.
It's just funny. It's the last place you'd expect that whole thing.
Smart.
And then you get a nice Toph Zuko moment where she's like, well, I met the guy, and it doesn't sound like he'd say that. I bet you he'd be proud of you. And you get this nice, and then she punches him. Ow! What was that for? That's how I show affection. It was good.
I really do love the Toph and Zuko relationship. I think they really nailed it with this episode. It's they feel more buddy to me than anyone else in the gang. At least with Zuko.
And I think they split. I think in the finale, don't they? When everyone splits off into groups, and Toph wants to go with Zuko so she can have her field trip with Zuko, and she's like talking all deep with him, and he's just kind of like, just kind of like, I think actually he's like it's like awkward.
Yeah, they definitely.
It's like they're making fun of the fact that we did kind of just do 3 field trips with Zuko. My field trip with Zuko, for show and tell. Like, here's what we did. We found some dragons and we saw pretty fire. And it's, I rescued it from prison. Oh, I almost killed a guy.
It sounds like a magic school bus kind of field trip.
And yet, throughout this campy, funny, goofy, silly little play that they're watching this whole episode, it ends pretty like, intense for them, because everyone else is like, because it's supposed to be like a nationalistic ending.
Oh, absolutely.
And then they're all sitting there like in this state of dread, like,
you're watching a play put on by fire.
Put on by what is essentially the enemy.
Yeah.
And they're showing your demise. It's like,
how
do you
what
feel?
Do you expect, though? What
I'm saying I like how it does that. Well, it's like, for all the wackiness and the zaniness, as you would say, it ends on this like sour note for them, but not anyone else. It's like,
Ooh.
So
But,
that was not a good play. What, the effects were good.
It was good.
Yeah, that's a fun time. There's a lot more happening than you realize.
Yeah, because it really is just a good. You think it's just a buffer episode, but like you said, there's a little more to it.
It's the calm before the storm too. I often find myself, I really like penultimate episodes of shows because it is that calm. It's like the big thing is coming, but you're kind of sitting in this moment waiting for it. I always cite the Breaking Bad penultimate episode.
Yeah.
With where it's like you are literally like there's a time jump and you're sitting around like literally like just watching a character sit around, and then when it ends you're like, okay, we've set the stage for the finale. And it's after the big episode of the series that's wedged between that one and the finale, so it's like you're stuck in this state of like just like limbo of sorts. Yeah. That's what I love about it.
The big episode. It's named after
Ozymandias.
Yeah.
That's the Rian Johnson directed episode.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
My brain always wants to call it Chrysanthemum or something.
Chrysanthemum.
That is.
Because isn't Ozymandias a flower? Or is there another episode that?
I think. Ozymandias.
Isn't it like some myth? Isn't it like a poem or something?
There might be another episode that's around a flower of some kind.
I think you're right. It's been a long time.
Well, the thing he poisons the kid with is the lily of the valley, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lily of the valley? Something like that. No.
We could do this very easily and look up an
I think
episode
all of us
list.
have computers or some kind of computer technology in front of us.
Yeah, and I also think that all of us have seen this show, but it's been like a good 10 years.
It's been a while since I've seen it.
Actually, I think I was thinking about the other day. It's like, I finished Breaking Bad in like February of 2014. It has literally been over 10 years since I last watched Breaking Bad.
That's insane.
And I mean, like, this show ended the same year Breaking Bad started. Breaking Bad started in 2008.
Yes, it did.
So
wow.
technically, it's right next to us. It's like, why does this show feels a lot older than Breaking Bad does when it's not that much older than it?
It's not. And I know while watching it, Jake pointed out the fact that we weren't sure if it switched to widescreen eventually. And I think that's why it feels so old. It's because most of it is in 4:3.
Yeah.
No, it all is in 4:3.
Oh, no.
That's what I meant.
It doesn't switch.
Is Korra in 4:3?
That's really weird because I thought the Switch was in 2008.
I also thought it switched, which is why I brought it up. But yeah, apparently.
Unless it's
I think
these were already in production long before the Switch, so it's like...
It would have to be.
Yeah, so...
Anyway, anything else about this episode before we...
Yeah, the stage is set for the finale.
Tune in next week. It's going to be epic.
Yep, to clarify, the finale is technically split into 4 parts. We're doing it as one big video, and we're going to have our final thoughts on the book and the series, so it's an extra long, extra special bite size.
It's going to be an epic... The finale of the show will be our epic finale of bite-sized. How fitting.
Yes.
This is how that works. But yeah,
there was one detail.
Oh.
The voice of Play Zuko was Derek Bosco, who is Dante's brother.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, why does he sound familiar? And I look at Derek Bosco. I wonder if he's real. Yep, it's his brother.
I love that they got. Was that actually also D. Bradley Baker that played voice of
I would guess he does a bunch of voices, and that D. Bradley Baker is just a godsend.
He is. Nobody can top D. Bradley. The only thing that can top D. Bradley Baker is our social media presence.
There it is.
Jared, where can they follow us online?
You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and the funny TikTok, and also X.
Formerly Twitter.
And you can listen to us on Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and hey, if it's YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, ring our bell, and make sure you like and whatever, follow or comment or whatever on all those apps, and check out our groovy website.
Absolutely.
Groovy.
Woohoo. Call us 70s goes, we're brand disco back, baby. And check out next week, like we just teased up, the epic finale.
Epic finale.
Yeah, so make sure to take a monstrous, giant...
Take a bite. I was like, what else do I say?